Hello students, let's have the numericals of the chapter 13 AC circuits. Let's see the important formulas of the chapter 13 AC circuits that will be used to solve the numericals. First of all, as we know that the alternating EMF E is given as E0 sine omega t, where E0 is the peak value of the alternating EMF there, or we can say it is the maximum value of the alternating EMF in either a direction. Then alternating current I is given as I0 sine omega t plus alpha, where alpha represents the phase difference between the current I and the EMF, and I0 is said to be a peak value of the current. Next we have average value of the current, which is to be given as IF is equal to 0.637 I0. We can say it is the relationship between the average current and the peak value of the current, as average current is to be given as IAV and peak value of the current is given as I0. So here we can say that the average value of the current IAV is equal to 0.637 I0. Similarly, we can give average value of EMF EAV, which is equal to 0.637 E0, where E0 is the peak value of the EMF there. Next we have RMS value of the induced EMF, which is to be denoted as E RMS, which is to be given as E0 upon square root 2. And in the same way, the RMS value of the induced current is also to be given as IRMS, which is equal to I0 upon square root 2. Next, the heat produced by the sinusoidally varying AC over a complete cycle is given as H is equal to R into RMS value of the current, and its square we have to take, and it is to be multiplied with 2 pi by omega. So here we can give the formula as H is equal to R into I RMS square into 2 pi by omega. This is the value of the heat produced by a sinusoidally varying AC over a complete cycle. The next formula we can give when we are using a purely inductive circuit. So for a pure inductor circuit, the value of the current is to be given as I0 sine omega t minus pi by 2. And over here we are getting the value of the inductive reactance, which is to be denoted as XL, and the value of the XL is to be given by using the formula ERMS upon IRMS. That is, we have to take the RMS value of the EMF and current, and hence we have to take its ratio. And also the inductive reactance we are getting as omega L, which is equal to 2 pi FL, where F is the frequency of the AC supply. For a purely capacitive circuit, we are having the current I as I0 sine omega t plus pi by 2, and here we are getting the capacitive reactance, which is to be denoted as XC, and again we have to take the ratio of ERMS to the IRMS. So ERMS upon IRMS gives the value of the capacitive reactance, and value of XC is also is equal to 1 upon omega C, which is also is equal to 1 upon 2 pi FC. Next, for the impedance, over here in the LCR circuit, we are having the value of Z is equal to ERMS upon IRMS, which is further is equal to square root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. And if we are having a circuit consisting of a conductor and a resistance only, then it is said to be the LR circuit, and for this LR circuit the value of the impedance Z is given as square root of r square plus xl the square there. Similarly, when we are having the circuit consisting of capacitor and resistor only, which is said to be the CR circuit. So, in the CR circuit, the value of the impedance Z is given as square root of R square plus XC square. Then, we can determine the phase difference between XL, XC and R there, which is to be given as phi is equal to tan inverse XL minus XC upon R, as well as the resonance frequency FR is to be given by the equation 1 upon 2 pi square root LC. So, these are the formulas that we will use to solve the numericals of this chapter, that is chapter 13 AC circuits. The next unsolved numerical from the textbook, question number 16 is alternating EMF of E is equal to 220 sin 100 pi t is applied to a circuit containing an inductance of 1 upon pi Henry. Write an equation for instantaneous current through the circuit. What will be the reading of the AC galvanometer connected in the circuit? Now here an alternating EMF is given, that is E is equal to 220 sin 100 pi t, and the value of the inductance is given 1 upon pi Henry. First of all, we have to write down the equation for the instantaneous current I, and also we have to determine what will be the value of the RMS current in the circuit there, that is the reading of the AC galvanometer connected in a circuit. Let us see the solution. First of all, we have to write down the data, as inductance is given 1 upon pi Henry. So, value of L we have to give as 1 upon pi Henry, and the equation E is equals to 220 sin 100 pi t is given. Give it as equation number 1. Then over here we have to write down the equation for the instantaneous current there. So, first of all, we have to compare this given equation number 1 with the general equation of alternating EMF, which is E is equal to E0 sin omega t. So, when we are comparing E is equals to 220 sin 100 pi t with E is equals to E0 sin omega t. So, here we are getting the value of E0 as 220 volt and value of omega as 100 pi there. So, we come to know the value of E0 and omega, as E0 is 220 volt and omega as 100 pi. Now, as we know that XL is equals to omega L, value of omega we had determined as 100 pi and value of L we are having as 1 upon pi. So, substitute the value of omega and L in this equation, and hence we are getting the value of XL as 100 ohm. Also, in an inductive circuit, we know that the current lags behind by pi by 2. So, we can write down our equation as I is equals to E0 upon XL into sin omega t minus pi by 2, as the value of omega is 100 pi. So, we have to write it as sin 100 pi t minus pi by 2. Now, let us substitute the values of E0 and XL in this equation, as the equation for the instantaneous current I is E0 upon XL into sin omega t minus pi by 2. So, here we have to substitute the values, E0 as 220 volt, XL as 100 and omega t as given 100 pi t there. So, value of I we can write as 220 upon 100 into sin 100 pi t minus pi by 2 there. So, when we are solving this ratio 220 upon 100, we are getting it as 2.2, and hence the equation for the instantaneous current I we are getting as 2.2 sine 100 pi t minus pi by 2. Give it as equation 2 also. Then for the next segment of the problem, the reading of the galvanometer is of IRMS. So from the equation 2, the value of I0 is to be written as 2.2. So we can get I0 is equal to 2.2 there. Then by using the formula IRMS is equal to I0 upon square root 2, we can determine the RMS current in the circuit there. So substitute the value here I0 as 2.2 and 1 upon square root 2 as 0.707. The multiplication of these two values is given as 1.554. So IRMS we are getting as 1.554 ampere. And hence we can write our final answer, the equation of the current I as 2.2 sine 100 pi t minus pi by 2, and also the RMS current is 1.554 ampere. The next unsolved numerical from the textbook, question number 17 is a 25 microfarad capacitor, a 0.10 Henry inductor and a 25 ohm resistor are connected in series with an AC source whose EMF is given by E is equal to 310 sine 314 t volt. What is the frequency, reactance, impedance, current and phase angle of the circuit? Now here the value of the capacitor is given 25 microfarad, value of inductor is there 0.10 Henry and resistor of 25 ohm are connected in series. That means we are talking about the LCR series, and this LCR is connected in series with an AC source whose EMF is given as E is equals to 310 sine 314 t volt there. And we have to calculate frequency, reactance, impedance, current and phase angle phi of the circuit there. Now let's see the solution. First of all, we have to write down the given data. The value of C is given as 25 microfarad, that is to be converting into farad by multiplying 10 raised to minus 6. So value of C we can write as 25 into 10 raised to minus 6 farad. L is given as 0.10 Henry. R is given as 25 ohm and E is given as 310 sine 314 t volt. Then we have to find out frequency F. Reactance of the circuit is to be determined as magnitude of XL minus XC. Impedance Z we have to calculate. Current I in the circuit we have to calculate, and also the phase angle phi we have to determine there. Formula we are going to use over here as E is equal to E0 sine omega t. Next formula we have to use XC is equal to 1 upon omega C and XL is equal to omega L. To determine impedance we have to use the formula Z is equal to square root R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. Then IRMS is to be calculated by using the formula ERMS upon Z, and the phase angle phi can be calculated by using the formula tan inverse XC minus XL upon R. Now when we are comparing the equation E is equals to 310 sine 314 t with the formula, that is E is equal to E0 sine omega t. So we can get the value of E0 as 310 volt. E is equal to E0 sine omega t. So value of E0 we are obtaining as 310 volt and omega we are getting as 314 radian per second. So we can write, on comparing the given equation with the basic formula E is equal to E0 sine omega t, we are getting E0 is equal to 310 volt and omega we are getting as 314 radian per second. And hence the frequency f we can calculate, as omega is nothing but 2 pi f. So f is to be written as omega upon 2 pi. The value of omega we had determined as 314 radian per second. So let's substitute the value over here in the formula omega upon 2 pi. So it becomes 314 upon 2 into 3.14. And the value of frequency f we are getting as 50 hertz. So here we have calculated the value of frequency we are getting as 50 hertz. Now next, by using the second formula, that is xc is equals to 1 upon omega c. We have to substitute the value here. Omega, we know that it is 314 radian per second. Value of c is given as 25 into 10 raised to minus 6 farad. So here we have to substitute the value of xc as 1 upon omega c, as omega is 314. Here it is written as 3.14. Make the correction, it is 314 into c is 25 into 10 raised to minus 6. Then this 10 raised to minus 6 in the numerator to be written as 10 raised to 6, which is to be splitted as 100 into 10 raised to 4. And in the denominator we are supposed to write 314 into 25. When we will solve 100 upon 314 into 25, so we are getting as 4 upon 314 into 10 raised to 4 is there, and 4 upon 314 into 10 raised to 4 value we are getting as 127.4 ohm. So the value of xc we are getting as 127.4 ohm. Then by using the third formula, xl is equal to omega L. We have to substitute the value. Omega is 314, L is given 0.10, and the multiplication of 314 and 0.10 we are getting as 31.4. So value of xl we are getting as 31.4 ohm. Then we can determine the reactance of the circuit due to the inductor and capacitor. So here we have to take the difference of xl and xc, and hence we have to write the magnitude of the difference there. So in the modulus we are supposed to write xl minus xc. Substitute the value over here, as we are getting xl as 31.4 and xc as 127.4. So in the modulus we have to write 31.4 minus 127.4, and the difference we are getting as 96 ohm. So the reactance of the circuit we are getting as 96 ohm. Then by using the formula number 4 to determine the impedance, we have to use the formula Z is equal to square root R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. Now substitute the values over here, as R is given 25 and XL minus XC we had determined as 96. So Z is to be written as square root of 25 square plus 96 square. And then we have to calculate it. The square of the 25 is 625 and square of the 96 is 9216. So in the next step we have to write Z is equal to square root 625 plus 9216. and the addition of 625 and 9216 we are getting as 9841. So now we have to take the square root of 9841, which comes to us 99.2. So the impedance Z we are getting as 99.2 ohm. Then by using the fifth formula, that is IRMS is equal to ERMS upon Z. So ERMS, the value we are getting as 310 into 0.707, as ERMS is nothing but E0 upon square root 2, where E0 is given to us, that is 310, and 1 upon square root 2 we are having 0.707. So ERMS we have to write as 0.707 E0, and the value of E0 is 310. So ERMS we can write as 310 into 0.707 upon Z. The value of Z we had calculated, which comes to us 99.2. So here IRMS we can write as 310 into 0.707 upon 99.2, and here we have to solve this by using the log, so that out of the bracket we have to write anti-log, and in the bracket we are supposed to write down log A plus log B minus log C, as 99.2 is there in the denominator, so we have to subtract its log value. So in the bracket we have to write log 310 plus log 0.707 minus log 99.2. Then in the next step we have to write down the value of log 310, which comes to us 2.4914, value of log 0.707, which is bar 1.8494, and the value of log 99.2, which is 1.9965. So next step we have to write anti-log in bracket the values of log 310, log 0.707 and log 99.2. Then we have to solve the bracket, and we are getting the value of the addition and subtraction of these values as 0.3443, and hence we have to take the anti-log of 0.3443 there, and finally we are getting the IRMS as 2.210. Hence value of IRMS we can write as 2.21 ampere. Then by using the sixth formula, which is tan phi is equal to XL minus XC upon R. As XL minus XC magnitude we had obtained as 96 ohm, R is given 25 ohm. So we have to substitute the values here, and we have to write it as 96 upon 25. Now let us multiply and divide with 4 to make our calculation simple. So here when we are multiplying and dividing by 4 and solving it, so we are getting the value of 96 upon 25 as 3.84. That means it is the value of tan phi, which is 3.84 there. Then in the next step we have to determine the value of phi, which is the phase angle, and hence phi will be is equals to tan inverse of this value, that is 3.84. So we can write phi is equal to tan inverse 3.84 there, and the value of this tan inverse 3.84 we are getting as 75.4 degree there, and hence over here we have to divide and multiply with pi. So we can write it as 75.4 into pi upon 180. So it is 75.4 into 3.142 upon 180, and finally we are getting our answer in radians for the phase angle, that is phi is equal to 1.316 radian. Now finally we can write down our answer for the given LCR series circuit. The frequency of the circuit we are obtaining as 50 Hertz. Second, the reactance of the circuit we are getting as 96 ohm. Third, the impedance of the circuit we are obtaining as 99.2 ohm. Fourth, the RMS current of the circuit we are getting as 2.21 ampere. And last, the phase angle of the circuit we are obtaining as 1.316 radian. The next unsolved numerical from the textbook. Question number 18 is a capacitor of 100 microfarad, a coil of resistance 50 ohm and an inductance 0.5 Henry are connected in series with a 110 volt 50 Hertz source. Calculate the RMS value of the current in the circuit. Now here the value of the capacitor is given 100 microfarad, resistance is there of 50 ohm and inductance 0.5 Henry is there, which is connected in series across the AC supply whose voltage is given as 110 volt and frequency is 50 Hertz. And we have to calculate the RMS value of the current in the circuit. Let's see the solution. First of all, we have to write down the data as value of C is 100 microfarad is given, which is to be converting into farad by multiplying 10 raised to minus 6. So this 10 raised to minus 6 we have to multiply with 100 and we have to solve it. So we are getting the value of C as 10 raised to minus 4 farad. R is given 50 ohm, L is there 0.5 Henry. RMS value of the voltage is there 110 volt and frequency F is given 50 Hertz. We have to find out the RMS current, that is the I RMS there, and here we have to use the formula. First of all, XC is equal to 1 upon 2 pi FC. Second, XL is equal to 2 pi FL. Third, Z is equal to square root R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. And finally, IRMS is given as ERMS upon Z. As Z is ERMS upon IRMS, that's why we have to calculate the value of Z there. And for determining the Z, we need the value of XL and XC. That's why we are calculating XL and XC also. So let's solve it by using the first equation. XC is equals to 1 upon 2 pi FC. We have to substitute the values. So it becomes 1 upon 2 into pi is 3.14 into F is given 50 Hertz into C is given 10 raised to minus 4. After the substitution, we have to solve it and the value of XC we are getting as 31.83 ohm. Then next, by using the second formula, XL is equal to 2 pi FL. Here we have to substitute the value. 2 into pi is 3.142 into F is given 50 into L is there 0.5. The value we have substituted and the multiplication will be given result as 157.1. So XL we are getting as 157.1 ohm. Then by using the third formula to determine the value of Z, that is square root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. Here we have to substitute the value. R square is to be written as 50 square plus then XL minus XC the whole square is to be written as 157.1 minus 31.83 the whole square is there, as the value of XL and XC we have determined here. Then we have to solve it and the value of Z we are getting as square root of 18192.6 whose result is 134.88 ohm. So the impedance Z we are getting as 134.88 ohm. After that, by using the fourth formula, we have to calculate IRMS, as IRMS is ERMS upon Z. ERMS is given as 110, so we have to substitute here, and the value of Z we had calculated, which is 134.88, we have to put here, and the ratio 110 upon 134.88 we can write as 110 upon 134.9. Now let's calculate it by using the log. So here first of all we are supposed to write down the anti-log, and in bracket log of 110 minus log of 134.9, as 134.9 is in the denominator, so we have to subtract the log value there. Then in the next step we have to write down the value of log 110, which is 2.0414, and the value of log 134.9, which is 2.1300. So next step we have to write anti-log of 2.0414 minus 2.1300. The subtraction we are getting as bar 1.9114, so we have to take the anti-log of bar 1.9114, and the value we are getting as 8.155 into 10 raised to minus 1, which is to be written as 0.816. So here we are getting IRMS as 0.816 ampere, and finally we can write our answer as the RMS value of current in the circuit is 0.816 ampere. The remaining numericals we will solve next time in the next lecture. Thank you.